Welcome along to our big match preview and our opposition view. This weekend, Saints travel to Middlesbrough, our final away game of the season. Boro's fate was already sealed on Monday, but that hasn't stopped our brave guests from joining me today. Dave from Middlesbrough Fan Channel, Red Army TV. Dave, how you doing, mate? In the grand scheme of things.
I'm all right. I'd resigned myself to relegation a long time ago because that's the way we were going and we were doing nothing to arrest the slide. So, yeah, it was confirmed against Chelsea, but it wasn't a surprise.
So, obviously, this game, there's nothing on it now for Boro. I won't try and pain you too much into the details, but just briefly, how and where has it gone wrong this season?
It's gone wrong in various departments. The club themselves, they didn't spend wisely. They didn't do their homework wisely in the summer transfer window and did even worse in the January transfer window, which seemed as though, despite what Aidar Karanka was asking for, we went out and bought championship players. There is a view up on Teesside that maybe there was one eye already on the championship and the club were thinking about going back down. Why they would do that, absolutely no idea. But, like I say, your football fans are fickle. We all have our own conspiracy theories. That's just one of them.
I mean, looking at the fixture list as well, it wasn't helped by that. I think the last 6 or 7 games, you weren't helped by tying against for the top 6 teams. Similarly with us, actually, we've had Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United coming up next week as well, and you've had dogfights as well, playing Sunderland, Hull in recent weeks too.
Yeah, well, when the fixture list came out, I was one of the first group to have a look at it and say, well, we better have points in the bag before we get into the final half dozen games of the season, because when you're up against Liverpool away, Chelsea away, City at home, Arsenal was in the mix as well. There's not an awful lot of points you're expecting to come your way, and I wasn't foolish enough for 1 minute to think we'd be of the pedigree to be able to go down to Stamford Bridge and win games. This season was all about just sustaining that Premier League position. We failed to do it miserably, and to be honest, we thoroughly deserved to go down. We didn't attack. Karanka was very defensively minded. We didn't have the strongest of squads, and we didn't put in the performances. So we reaped exactly what we sowed.
And you know what? You mentioned a few there. You said you didn't have a strong enough squad, but looking at the team on paper, you got some talent there. You got obviously Negredo. You got one of our old boys, Callum Chambers, who's highly rated. Ben Gibson. A lot of teams will be after him in the summer.
Yeah, Ben Gibson, we expect to go for 20, 25 million quid somewhere. He's already been linked with Chelsea. Callum Chambers will return back to Arsenal. They seem to, side by side in the Middlesbrough defence, they seemed to gel quite nicely, and it looked as though there was a decent partnership that was forming there. And that's exactly how Karanka approached games. It's more about clean sheets than it was about winning games, and that was the problem. We had the likes of Gaston. We still have got Gaston Ramirez, though he probably won't pull a Boro shirt on again. He sort of disgraced himself in the eyes of the manager, the club, and the fans. But Negredo up front was left completely isolated for 3/4 of the season. It was hilarious to see a long ball be played forward, and your centre forward has to win the header, then immediately turn 180 degrees and sprint upfield to try and win the knockdown. That's exactly how we were playing him, and it's no surprise we've got the lowest goal scoring record in all 4 divisions.
And obviously this game, nothing riding on it, but how do you expect Boro to react? Is it a chance to kind of mix the team up, give some of the fringe players a chance or play on for some pride?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that all day, knowing we were going to do this chat, and I still haven't come to an opinion on that one. You would think, you look at Sunderland, and the moment they were relegated, they go and beat Hull City at the KCOM, and half of me thinks, yeah, well, maybe the pressure's off now with the Boro. They can go and experiment, they can go and enjoy themselves. I think I put a message out yesterday on our Facebook channel saying, look, let's just go and enjoy the last couple of games of the season, have a rest, and then start thinking about taking 8,000 away from home in the Championship, which you can do, but you can't do in the Premier League. So I don't know which Boro's going to turn out. I really don't. I've got half a sneaking suspicion it could be an easy afternoon for you.
Well, let's wrap things up then on that note. Obviously, you mentioned there one of the worst goal-scoring records in the league, but seemingly we're not scoring many either. So all the signs point towards a 0-0 thrilling dead rubber. What are you going to call?
Oh, I'll have to go for a 4-4 draw then. There's going to be plenty of goals if we both don't expect. There'll be the odd goal in it. That's all I can see. We're certainly not flush in the goal-scoring department, so I wouldn't suddenly think we're going to do a Jekyll and Hyde performance and start sticking 3 or 4 in. There's no chance of that. So, look, it's head and heart time for me. My head is telling me the Saints will probably pick up 3 points because we'll still be full of doom, gloom and despondency. But obviously the heart's telling me, come on, Boro, let's nick a couple of goals and even though we're going down, let's go down in style and pick up a final home win of the season.
Brilliant stuff, Dave. You've been great. Thanks for joining us. And just before we do obviously wrap things up, hopefully our paths do cross again. But I do wish you a speedy return back to the Prem. And quickly, where can we find you?
You can find us on YouTube, Boro Red Army. I'm sure there's nobody down on the South Coast who can tune into our local TV channels where we're also getting broadcast. So probably YouTube's the best, or redarmy.tv is the website.
And that's a brilliant concept you got there, a fantastic show as well. So if you want to see more of Dave, head over to the Red Army TV YouTube channel, Facebook channels and pages. But the links will all be below the video. But leave us your thoughts and comments and predictions in below. But as always, leave a like on the video and subscribe for more.